Gray gives the
Are there
cubic
pit lane starters? I don't even know. Anyway, 5 lights and away we go for the New York Grand Prix. Not usual commentator, but I will try my best. And pit lane starters can go. Thank you, Gray. Already starting off well, Dom H converting his pole, and he's leading into the first straight. But leading to the first straight isn't necessarily a good thing, as to all the cars behind will have the wing straight open. But he's weaving on the straight to get them all behind. Look at the pack, there's about 8 of them. Let's see who's bravest on the brakes into turn 1 and who gets the best exit out of these 4 and 5th. 6 is a tricky corner because you need to open up through 7. Tricky bump, you can end up in the wall. Let's see if anyone's dumb enough to put it in the wall. Seems it's all clean and dandy from the cars behind. No one in a wall yet. Oh, don't want to jinx it though. Dom H still maintaining his lead with VIP hot on his tail.
Alright, so looking at the setups for the cars here, obviously Dom had the best lap with 13-12 yesterday, but look at his strategy differences today. So he's gone a bit risky today, looking at his setup today. What are your thoughts about that, Cam?
Well, okay, well, we know the, from an engineering standpoint, I understand why he's done this. So he's gone 13.9, and this is because right now he's running higher fuel loads. So as there's more fuel in the car, you don't need as much rear downforce to keep the car on the track. But as he burns fuel through the fuel and will eventually put, I imagine, to the hard, unless he's doing
he will increase it over time, yes.
He will increase the aero when he pits, as so there's no park for a main. Outguard, DRS wide open, attacking Dom as he's weaving up and down the straight, trying to break the slipstream. Let's see if Outguard's close enough to make a move on my screen. Under braking.
Oh, Outguard breaks earlier. Okay, Outguard gets the better exit. Now coming through this turn, anyone make a mistake here? No mistake so far. Outguard gets a little slippy, touches the wall.
I got a bit wide. Pays for it by scraping the paint off the wall barriers.
Looks like Chris is in on the party as well.
Nice.
Dom's still keeping it clean together. Oh my! Oh, did Dom lose a front wing?
Dom loses a front wing. Has lost his front wing. I predicted he would win, and now I'm just devastated. I said Alco would crash, and it's the other way around. So
now it's just gonna be a Dom praying for a safety car now at this point.
Yeah, oh, Senna. What happened to Senna? Senna is out.
Senna
but, I mean, technically
it's on the racing. Yeah, it's technically on the racing line, so it's still be green flag. Just reset. Yeah, no safety car be called. Yeah, just reset. Alright, coming the main straight now will be Outguard. Followed up closely by Chris. VIP and Chris is right behind Chris right now. VIP with DRS open. Will be sending it down on Chris. Oh,
Chris is eyeing up and moving on to Outguard.
Chris is on the lead right now on my screen.
But Outguard better exit.
Alright, through the turns. No mistakes so far from both drivers. Looking pretty clean through this sector so far. Chris leading on my screen. Chris, VIP with the fastest first sector right now.
Senna needs to reset and get rid of his car, please. Alright. Fastest second sector from Chris, as on my screen, he's put his Williams in front of Outguard. But I think this is going to happen a lot during this race, where whoever's behind going into that first straight, it's just so absurdly long. You gain something like 20 kilometers extra in straight line speed.
Yeah, so having DRS is really an advantage on that straight right there.
Exactly.
Yeah, it's just so the DRS is just so strong through the first sector.
Exactly.
But Chris still keeping it clean right now. Chris will have a big battery bar to drain on this main straight, where Outguard will be trying to get the jump on him with the DRS wide open. The VIP not missing out the party as well. VIP has DRS wide open down the main straight as well.
Chris breaking the toe, but it doesn't matter because Outguard's going to cruise right up on his outside and under braking in front.
Looks like Outguard gets the better exit again. Looks like Outguard just had the better, just have more confidence than Chris through that sector. Wow.
Yeah, they're both running 13.11, but one thing that could play a part of it is the fuel loads.
Most definitely.
Outguard's running higher fuel, so that's probably why it's hurting him on straight, but he's probably just a little bit more planted, as we were talking about with downforce. Adding more fuel loads actually helps. Look at the sector. Look how much he gained through the fast S's, and stealthy going purple sector 1, running 13.9, so you can see the benefit of the DRS and just the toe from the car in front. Overlapping each other? Hardly. Not at all.
Looks like Chris will be getting the better exit, so it will be really dependent on who will give the DRS to each other. So Chris could strategically just stay behind Outguard for this first sector, so that he could just gain the DRS from Outguard, which is exactly what he did. But VIP is also in the party right now.
Yeah, well, another thing is with this DRS train is if you're in the train and you're satisfied with just staying in the train and you're able to keep within that 1 second, you can actually turn the engine down. and save a bit of fuel on these straights. Because with the added DRS, the car in front of you to stay in front will need to up the engine mode so they're burning fuel. When you're behind, you can save fuel. Especially when you're full throttle for something like 2 kilometers. It is the fuel drainer around this track.
Absolutely, and drivers can also use standard fuel mode through the second sector, as it's more about weaving, there's not much about top speed, so just saving fuel through these sectors is also a very smart move. Could just hot lap through on the main straight.
Driver I'm impressed with at the
He
moment.
goes wide.
Piavana, P4. Out of every driver, I did not expect Piavana to be P4, but I think we just have, I think the top 3, this will be our top 3. ASM crying about something. Oh, ASM in a wall.
ASM is on track, that will be, I believe that it's not on the racing line.
I mean, it's on, I would say, because that's the apex you're taking, I would say yes. I would say
that'll
yes,
be a safety car. Alright. Safety car out, all drivers keep your delta positive.
Alrighty. And on my screen, when the safety car came out, outguard P1, Chris, VIP. It's order. Where happened Piavana? Oh, Piavana had a cut slow down. Unlucky, my friend. He might have tried to serve it under safety car, or he might have got it as the safety car came out. Might have been some illegal overtakes, but unless he's got a clip, not much you can do about that. Now, let's talk about the outguard man, or what I like to call he's a bit of a tire merchant, this man. Bit of a Checo Perez, especially on a street circuit like this, or close quarters circuit at least. Hards for 23 laps, anyone? Does that sound like a dinner course?
That clearly doesn't sound like a straightforward plan, but you could just justify that you could go on the mediums.
Chris jumped outguard, but in my opinion, jumped him in the pit lane, which technically doesn't count under the safety car rules. 500 IQ from Chris there. But does he need a quick pit stop? Yes, Chris has jumped outguard in the pits. And VIP's behind outguard on my screen.
That's what we love to see.
Coming out, who's that? That's just something entire field. Stealthy! Up into P4, nicely done. Piavana, I think, behind him. I think that's an Alpha. Yes, it is. And then the SM Pikachu behind Piavana. Nice safety car.
I believe the driver has just crashed out during safety car.
Yeah, it was potato crashed.
Ah, okay. Oh well. This is a sort of a godsend, I think, for Don H. Gets to catch up. And safety car will be in this lap.
Safety car will be in this lap, informing all drivers right now. Safety car in this lap.
2 line. Right, so, bit of a race recap. We have 12 drivers remaining of Jar. What happened to Jar in the pit lane? Jar had something going wrong in the pit lane. But the grid is formed by the second safety line.
Chris controls the pace.
So, Chris will back up the field as he does now. He needs to watch that he doesn't go below 40 kilometers. So hopefully give Jar at least some time to catch whatever happened in the pit.
Safety car is now in the pit. Safety car is now in the pits.
So, we are now green flag conditions. That doesn't mean go. It's when Chris goes. So you can see the whole grid is just panched up behind him. No one even knows where you're supposed to be anymore, but it's relatively held true. Chris plants the throw out of the final corner to lead them away, going into lap 9, completing lap 8, when we have 21 laps to go.
No, very good safety car start from Chris right there. Outguard on his tail. We'll be getting DRS on the straight line right now. VIP on Outguard as well. So it really depends whether Outguard can just get this turn right. Because if he just gets the better exit, he'll just be having such a better sector too. Outguard overtakes Chris on my screen.
Yep.
3 cars into the same turn. Alright, let's just see if they can keep it clean throughout the sector.
Ooh, Outguard scrapes that wall again. That's going to give Chris the window to pull up again. But he's got some straight lines. Deploying in hot lap, when Chris, on the other hand, on standard, that explains the differences in acceleration. But now they come into the tricky, windy section of the track. See if anyone's made an error. Nope, no one's crashed. And Outguard on my screen is leading the pack away. But Chris, I'm sure, won't give up the lead that easy. And he'll be back to fight another day. Now it's interesting to see if this backfield, how long this backfield can stay attached to these leaders. Because right now,
it's just going to be a clean DRS train.
yeah, Stealthy's still got VIP in his sight, so it's not like they can completely gap these midfielders. So I think Stealthy, if I was engineering Stealthy, he's P4 right now, I would just be telling him, oh, hold on, is that one of my favourite Ferraris that's back in the mix? No, never mind, it's the other. Wait, is that another Alfa Romeo? They're two. Am I blind? Who am I looking at? Is that Piamata? Okay, it is Piamata. I saw Piamata, I thought it was the Ferrari, and I thought Dom H was already P5. But no, Dom H is dead last after serving a penalty, I think.
So not sure what happened, but VIP is now leading the race. Oh, VIP just got a little bump through that turn right there, but he's leading off. He's got a small little gap from Outguard, but Outguard is hot on his tail right now. VIP looks like he got a cut right there. Goes wide, but still keeps it clean together somehow. Wow, Outguard right on him.
Real quick, Chris and VIP opt for the medium. Oh, sorry, not Chris. Outguard and Chris opt for the hard tire compound, when VIP opted for another medium. So he's probably hoping that he could have pilled on this better compound tire, and maybe pray for a late game safety car, or the hard might not go to the end, we don't know yet. But he's not pulling. Medium might be the strat. Well, medium won't go to the end, but yeah, he needs to pit again. Medium soft. Well,
Softs are just out of the equation. Yeah,
you make another pit stop, and you wouldn't be able to gain that back, especially in the stint duration that you would have it.
So from what we're seeing right now, there's not much of a gap between VIP and Outguard. Outguard is still maintaining a healthy pace right behind VIP. Oh my gosh, Outguard just had a slippy right there through that turn, but VIP still keeps it clean, which brings Chris into the equation again. Chris will now be in front of Outguard, who still has the fastest time.
Well,
Outguard goes wide.
I have a little interesting point to talk about real quick. In terms, yes, the battle on track, all these three are stuck together like glue. Outguard's fallen off a bit, and Stealthy
is now in front of the equation. Now this is interesting.
Ignoring that real quick. VIP, 67 fuel. Outguard, I think, was second with 57, and Chris, 52. So I think what these drivers are going to be trying to do is bait each other into using hot lap, and just stick with them, because they're going to be trying to get their competitors to use more, so they have less to use late game when they're actually trying to cross the line. And Dom, dude, I said you would convert pole into the victory. I'm sorry, I've probably given you a commentator's curse, because you're having a terrible weekend.
Yeah, Dom is just not he's not even keeping up with the midfielders. There's something is clearly wrong with the driver right here.
he's the equivalent of the Ion Leclerc. Oof, that's gonna hurt. Stealthy, really impressive stuff, because the midfielders are like, they're barely hanging on to the DRS, but Stealthy's actually keeping up with his top 3. He might make it a top 4 battle. But yeah, Outguard.
Let's keep up. Sorry.
I was just gonna have a fading mention that VIP is on the mediums. So even though he is ahead, I wouldn't be panicking too much, because he has to pit again, and if the hards go to the end, well, VIP ain't looking pretty.
So far, all drivers are keeping it clean. Dom's still slowly making his way through the midfielder. Unfortunately, he's not having such a great time without the DRS. He's slightly behind Piavana right now. Actually, not slightly, I might just say 1 second right behind